as 1, as exciting as 2, is its own thing, and yet has this through line for all 3. So it does feel like there's probably one more chapter to the story.
Oh, let's go! That's class!
A few moments later.
You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow. Come back. I love you.
Liar! With him! You brought him here to kill me!
No.
Let her go, Anakin! Hot off the presses, I just got back from my vacation, and I have a lot to say in this video. I have been asked by many people, why have you not made a video on this? I was on vacation. The one video you had seen last week, about a week ago, I had scheduled before my trip. I just came back from Arizona. I spent a good week there with some friends. And I have a lot to say, because in a matter of a week since making that video, a lot has happened in regards to The Last of Us. And I wouldn't mean a lot. Usually, we hear little rumblings and things, but what had just happened over the last couple days is significant. And definitely you want to keep your eyes open, and definitely want to listen to what I have to say in this video, because again, everything might seem certain as to what was said, but the past and the future have a connection that I feel will make sense in this video. Neil Druckmann has finally, once again, addressed The Last of Us Part 3. This is the first time he's addressed it pretty much since the Grounded documentary last year, where he basically said that he sees one more chapter in regards to The Last of Us. If you guys do enjoy this, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content covering The Last of Us / Naughty Dog. Tomorrow, my friends, we will be streaming the SXSW panel, which will give us a new trailer for The Last of Us HBO Season 2, the official full trailer, and a lot more info in regards to the season, so make sure you go into that stream and enjoy that. Get the popcorn. This is going to be a good video. Let's go for 2,000 likes on this video. Be sure to hit the red subscribe button. Join over the near 40% of our subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. Notification bell. Have it set to all. And join over the 101,000 people that have all notifications turned on for the channel. It's time. Let's discuss. So after making my video last week, my confidence in The Last of Us Part 3 was pretty high. We knew that Neil had confirmed one more chapter in the Grounded documentary. It's been a while, and like I said, that was recorded in 2023. So if you thought, well, The Last of Us Part 3 is probably well in development. Now, I will say a caveat before I start discussing what is shown in this article here. Neil Druckmann is a synonymous liar. And again, I'm not saying this in a malicious intent, but he has lied plenty to subvert expectations and throw people off.
I mean, do you think The Last of Us can exist without Joel and Ellie? I mean, are they The Last of Us? I mean, what is your interpretation of what we've seen and understood so far about the game in the series?
It's so much. They're the heart of it. I don't see it without them.
Joel, alive or dead?
It depends on which point. Everybody dies at some point.
Wow. Hey, guys! Quick reminder of mortality, just in case you hadn't thought about the void.
So
I
warn everybody, when I discuss all this, please take this with a grain of salt. For all we know, The Last of Us Part 3 could be well in development, and again, he's just trying to subvert people's expectations, throw a smokescreen, get people to think about other things, maybe build up more hype. I just generally, based on the history of what I followed in, the time since I started covering The Last of Us Part 2, and even before then, I was told by friends that even covered YouTube and stuff, and that Neil Druckmann's done this a lot. This is nothing new, so I want to make that clear before I discuss this. So, Neil Druckmann says, don't bet on there being a The Last of Us Part 3. And in quotes, this could be it. So if you're a Last of Us fan anxiously hoping for word that Naughty Dog is working on a Part 3 video game, I've got some bad news for you. Series creator Neil Druckmann has put a real damper today on any hopes that a Part 3 is in the works or ever will be. And so this interview was with Variety, where Druckmann gave a lengthy interview which was mainly centered around The Last of Us Season 2 and everything in regards to that, which, that is almost in a month, April 13th. Very, very excited to be covering that very, very soon. However, at the end, the outlet asked him about the prospect of The Last of Us Part 3, which Neil has been asked a lot. You know, for example, he said an outline was written for something in regards to it. He said there was a spin-off story with Tommy. He said a lot in regards to a potential part 3, but the one final chapter thing that he said last February in the Grounded documentary was the biggest thing. Everyone assumed when that was said that yes, The Last of Us Part 3 is definitely going to happen. It's probably well in development. And I still generally believe that, but now you hear this and you start to have a little doubt. I was waiting for this question, he said, sighing. He's like, I guess the only thing I would say is don't bet on there being more of The Last of Us. This could be it. I heard this and I was shocked. But at the same time, I'm not. Because Neil, as I said, subvert expectations, smokescreen, lies. A lot of people, and I've seen all these videos on YouTube, I've seen all these comments on Twitter and Instagram, all these people are assuming that he has definitively said that there is not going to be Last of Us Part 3. The Last of Us series is dead. But listen, I genuinely cannot believe people are just assuming, because he said, this could be, could. Note the word could. He didn't say, this is it, we're done, we're not making any more Last of Us. He definitively did not say that this was it. He hinted that there may or may not be more Last of Us. Don't get your expectations up, but he's done this for years. I remember one specific instance my one friend told me when he covered The Last of Us. I remember certain things before Part 2, where even before it was announced that, hey, the first game is fine, there's not going to be a sequel, and they ended up doing Part 2. This is not unknown. Neil Druckmann has been saying this for years, the flip-flop, the back and forth, the we're gonna make it, we're not gonna make it. This is nothing new, but it definitely is an eye-opener. And again, I honestly think that Neil's doing this again to throw people off. Throw a smoke screen, get people not to really constantly bug them about Part 3, because the premise right now is Part 2 PC comes out April 3rd. Last of Us HBO Season 2 comes out April 13th. Forget about everything else in regards to Last of Us future. Just focus on those two things. And plus, you know, the recent news on The Last of Us getting potentially 4 seasons. They're likely covering Part 2 in either 2 or 3 seasons. So I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing potentially for a 4th season if they're done with The Last of Us 2 by Season 3. They could, maybe they'll throw in a Part 3, but I guarantee they're likely going to cover Part 3. Are they really going to... And again, I've always said this about Part 2's ending. I generally feel it's left open. There's a lot of question marks. I do feel one more chapter is necessary. And again, some people may disagree with me and say, hey, Dom, this is a fine ending. They don't need to do another game. So everyone's mixed on that opinion, but I can't tell you how many people I've seen that have just assumed that they heard this, they seen this, and they're like, The Last of Us franchise is dead, it's over, Naughty Dog's cooked. Again, with Intergalactic coming, that is their main focus right now. Everybody knew this. This is nothing new. But they're working on multiple new single-player projects. So, one of 3 possibilities is true here, y'all. The Last of Us Part 3, a new IP, another new IP, or an old franchise like Uncharted or Jak and Daxter. I generally like to believe it to be Part 3, because I'd be shocked, considering they said they've been done with Uncharted, they said they've been done with Jak and Daxter, and another new IP after Intergalactic. That's a little fast, don't you think, that they would already announce 2 new IPs? I don't think that's going to be the case. And of course, the question remains is if you believe Druckmann or not. Naughty Dog is currently working hard at Intergalactic, which was announced at the Game Awards last December, and is likely several years away from completion. I don't believe that. I do think it might come out next year, and at the latest, maybe early 2027, but we'll see. With the studio's interest firmly in space right now, there's no way the team has time for The Last of Us Part 3 anytime soon. I don't generally believe this too, because I'll show you a picture of Naughty Dog's team. They have a lot of people working on a lot of things. I generally think they have a team for Intergalactic, but if they're working on multiple single-player projects, they probably got a team working on this other unannounced game, which could be Part 3, whatever else. They got a big studio with a lot of people, so I generally believe they're working on multiple things at once. And it's entirely possible Druckmann is being coy here, or simply that he isn't willing to commit yet. The passage of time could change this response, or he could just be done with it. Who can say? And again, a lot of people think Neil Druckmann might be done with The Last of Us because of all the hate and all that he's gotten from... But if you're craving more of The Last of Us, there's still the television series with the 2nd season airing on April 13th on Max. And while Druckmann says in the interview he isn't sure how many seasons it will take to wrap up the story, Part 2, HBO executive hinted in February that something like 4 seasons will be the sweet spot. And again, I do generally feel they can go 5 or 6 if Part 3 comes into the mix, or they might just do Part 3 in one season, which could be the Season 4. So, I will just say this. A lot of people, and again, see, if you go on YouTube and you just go through videos, everyone says, Last of Us franchise is dead. Last of Us 3 is not happening. Neil Druckmann gives up. Last of Us 3 Holly isn't going to happen. Listen, Last of Us 3 canceled. Neil Druckmann quits. Last of Us 3 fans rejoice. I mean, listen, I see all this and I'm like, people think that the franchise is dead. Nobody's interested yet. There are videos of mine that I've covered with Part 3 that are getting hundreds of thousands of views. This franchise is not dead. Anyone that is saying that is delusional, in my opinion. And plus, I'll be honest with you all. I hope Intergalactic does really well, but I'm gonna be honest. If I had to choose between Last of Us 3 and Intergalactic, I think I'm gonna take Last of Us 3 every dang time. I don't care how good Intergalactic turns out to be. And I really do hope Intergalactic wows everybody, and I hope it's amazing. And it probably will be. But it ain't The Last of Us. I think The Last of Us is one of the best games ever created. I think Part 2, despite all its faults people have with the story or whatever, gameplay-wise, visually-wise, you know, just acting-wise, world-building-wise, it's phenomenal. One of the best games ever created. And again, other people may disagree with me and say it's one of the worst games ever created. You're entitled to your opinion. But there is enough interest around this franchise where I think Neil and Naughty Dog would be freaking crazy to not do a Part 3. It would sell like hotcakes, and I generally believe that. People think I might be crazy as hell, but I generally think the game would sell like hotcakes. Especially with the show's popularity, you don't think people are going to want more? I'm just being honest with y'all. There's no way they won't do a Part 3. I would be shocked. So I'm positive, I guess I could say with this, The Last of Us is getting a limited edition DualSense controller. Ironically, Neil Druckmann dashes all the hosts for Last of Us Part 3, and then they give us a new controller. This controller, you can't make this crap up. You honestly can't. But again, I believe Neil's lying. I don't think you should all panic. Definitely keep an eye out for it, but I don't think you should panic because Neil's, you know, we're going to make Part 3, we're not going to make Part 3. It's been this flip-flop for years now. Again, if Neil was ever making Part 3, he's not going to tell you straight up, I am making Last of Us Part 3, until it's revealed, just like Intergalactic. Via this handsome guy, DomTheBomb on Twitter, he said, The Last of Us Limited Edition DualSense controller details. So this is everything you need about the controller. It is priced $84.99. Pre-orders start on March 14th at 10 a.m. EST. Launches on April 10th. It's available in limited quantities. 3 particular images featured are the Firefly, Wolf, and Moth. It's available at PlayStation Direct and participating retailers on the 14th when you can pre-order. And countries where you can pre-order, according to the PlayStation Direct, is US, UK, France, Germany, Austria, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So that is everything you need to know about this controller, which I'm very excited. I'm going to be getting this. We might do a stream where I'll pre-order it and everything for y'all while we're live, because I guarantee this is going to sell fast. It's limited edition, so if you want it, make sure you're up on March 14th at 10 a.m. EST. Make sure you're up. So to close, guys, I am a big Last of Us fan. I generally do fear that there is a probability. I mean, listen, it's not 0%. I do think there is a chance that Neil might just have said, after all the controversy and hatred after Part 2, that he might just say, hey, we're done. But we know Neil Druckmann. He has lied numerous times. Don't just assume because he said this that Part 3 is not happening. I would definitely say I still, in my heart of hearts, 80-90% certain that it's going to happen. And we're still years out, probably 2027, 2028 for a potential reveal. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But I still do believe in my heart of hearts Naughty Dog is working on Part 3, and it will be the final chapter, as Neil Druckmann has said. But the flip-flop is crazy, y'all. It is crazy. Alright, guys, if you do enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know if you think The Last of Us Part 3 is going to happen. And until we hear other stuff, I guess this is it in regards to Last of Us Part 3. Because Neil's kind of shut it down, I guess. Maybe just to subvert expectations, but Neil, we know you, man. You're a sneaky little liar. No. We're getting our Part 3. One way or the other, we're gonna get Part 3. It might be years, many years, but we will get it. Let's go for 2,000 likes on this video. Make sure to follow me on social media down below to stay connected with us. And I'll catch you guys in the next video very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. See you tomorrow for the new Last of Us HBO Season 2 trailer and plenty more. And I'll see you in couple weeks probably for some permadeath as we get ready for part 2 PC and the show.